Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi is finally coming upon us this weekend at the next UFC Vegas 74 event, and today I'm going to give you my breakdown and prediction for the fight. Before we get into it, I do want to say hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about this fight because it is a fantastic fight, and initially I did think it was a coin flip fight, but as I thought about it over the past week, I have a little bit more to say from when I've done my full card breakdown and prediction video. Anyways, let's start with the tail of the tape. So Kai Kara-France obviously coming off of that loss against Brandon Moreno, and he was doing okay in that fight, but at the end of the day, Brandon Moreno just bested him. Before that, everybody was high on Kai Kara-France, and I actually picked Kai Kara-France to beat Brandon Moreno. Before that, he had some amazing wins, and actually, the time that I was ridiculously convinced that Kai Kara-France could potentially be a star is his win over Askar Askarov. I thought that was a fantastic performance, and I was counting Kai Kara-France out in that fight, and then he just did what he did. I really, really liked his win there, but Amir Albazi, man, 16-1, been looking absolutely fantastic so far, but here is the critique that we've been talking about all week that people, when everybody's breaking down this fight, is Amir has not faced the same level of competition nearly to what Kai Kara-France has fought. That might be a big factor in this fight. You can see by the odds. The odds are very even. Initially, when I first was taking a look at this fight, I did a full card breakdown and prediction video. I was like, this is a coin flip fight, but if you had a gun to my head, I'd pick Amir Albazi. I'm actually switching it a little bit. Kind of still the same prediction, but I'm going to expand on that in just a little bit. But I'm like, hey, gun to my head, I might pick Kara-France. So 30 years old, 29 years old, both in their primes, just entering his prime for Albazi. 125, of course, and there's not too much to write home about. Albazi has a little bit of a reach advantage. I don't know if that will really come into play. It's nothing really that I think you really need to look at when you're breaking down this fight. So when you're looking at how these two match up, something that you should take into consideration is that Kai Kara-France just lost to the champion. You got to talk about his mindset, but from what we've seen with Kai Kara-France so far, he is just as hungry, just as ready to get back in there, just as ready to win, and he is taking on another surging contender in Amir Albazi. This is really, really cool of him. I like that he's taking on a really dangerous fight like this because if he goes out there and just starches Amir, then he could potentially have, I'd say, one more fight to get to the title fight. But still, I really like the way he is approaching this. But Amir Albazi, man, okay, let's talk about how these two match up. Kai Kara-France, you know what's with Kai Kara-France. Fantastic stand-up, fantastic takedown defense, fantastic submission defense, really, really good striking, really powerful for the flyweight division. Amir Albazi, on the other hand, will come in there and look to get you to the ground. So this is why I was talking about earlier it being a coin flip fight, because what happens when these two clash? You have somebody that's really good at taking your back, getting a takedown, doing whatever he wants in that sense. But you have a guy like Kai Kara-France who is so powerful, who can catch you on the way in. He catch you. I can just see, like, not necessarily an uppercut, but Amir Albazi has a nice uppercut himself. Like, I'm talking about when Amir Albazi tries to get in close, I can see Kara-France, like, swinging a little bit wild, but that could also work against it. But Kai Kara-France also has amazing takedown defense. That's why I had such a hard time breaking down this fight, because I don't know what's going to happen when these two clash. As I was thinking about it a little bit more, like I said, my initial prediction was coin flip fight. If you had a gun to my head, I'd pick Albazi. I'm kind of switching that, and I'm kind of leaning towards Kara-France a little bit, but I'm kind of like 55-45 on it. Just because as I was thinking about it a little bit more, Kai Kara-France has that UFC experience, has that experience in there with fighters who are much better than anything Albazi has faced as of yet. He's fought the champion. He's done very well against in the fights that he even lost. He's very powerful for the division, and he has shown that his defense is extremely, extremely good. And you don't know how Amir is going to react if he gets hit by a guy like Kara-France. It's like getting hit by, I wouldn't, not to that extent, but it's like getting hit by Davison Figueiredo in that sense. Sometimes these guys in the flyweight division, once they get cranked by a guy like that, because of this power rarely exists in the flyweight division. Who knows what's going to happen? Amir has looked fantastic so far. But again, he hasn't faced a guy like Kai Kara-France. And if you were making predictions for this fight, I feel like Kara-France is more on the safe side. But don't take what I'm saying in the sense where it's like, oh my god, this is a striker versus grappler matchup. We've seen Kara-France do his own work on the ground, and Amir Albazi has a fantastic jab and a fantastic uppercut. He could just go out there, and Kara-France, you know, we've seen him swing, not necessarily wild. He's one of those calculated chaos type guys. He has no problem going in there and just swing with all his might. What if he has that game plan, and what if Amir does have a fantastic jab, just keeps him on the outside the whole time, just keeps picking at him. Another thing to note is a lot of people are talking about Amir Albazi along with his lack of experience, they're talking about, okay, this is a 5-round fight. What if he can't put on this pace for 5 rounds? But then you got to look at the other side and be like, Kara-France hasn't done 5 rounds either. Neither of these guys have shown that they have cardio issues. But it's not like Kara-France is just for sure going to have the edge in cardio. What if the grappling wears him out? That's why it is so hard to predict this fight. I don't know what's going to happen when these two clash in the striking. I don't know who's going to get the better advantage on the ground. It's such a tough fight. It's a spectacular fight. And going off topic a little bit, this is why I have a little bit of an issue with some UFC fans, because they talk about the main event for this card and they're like, oh my God, Kara-France versus Albazi. I'm looking at this like, wow, what an amazing fight. These two guys going at it, some of the best in the flyweight division. I can't wait to see this fight. So this is where I'll leave it up to you guys. I want to know what you think down below. Your breakdown, if you have time, write down a full breakdown. Give me your prediction on who's going to win. As I've thought about it over the week, I'm leaning towards Kara-France. Just very, very little. But again, it's still kind of a coin flip fight in my opinion. Really, really good fight. Really good matchup. Leaning towards Kara-France, but I want to know what you guys think down below. And thank you so much for watching this video. On the screen right now, if you want to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there will be 2 videos on screen for you to check out. Check them out. They're pretty great. I will see you there, guys. Take care.